Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. For nearly 50 years, this group has been protecting area businesses and area homes. You think, I don't want bugs in my house, but those things also carry disease. You want to keep those out of your home, out of your business. It protects your family and your workers in more ways than one. Take my advice. The folks to call are Southeast Termite and Pest Control. I use them at my home, and they do a spectacular job. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Also want to tell you that since the game will start at about the time I get today's show posted online, we will not be doing an overtime segment today. We will be doing our Christmas Spectacular next Sunday. We always have fun with that. So next Sunday at 11, start your Christmas Eve morning with us right back here on the Sports Source, but no overtime today. We've talked, well, I'll tell you what, I'll get to what happens if they lose in a minute. Mark, I know you spent some time speaking to Tennessee coaches this week. What do they take from last year's game? What did they learn last year that they think they can apply moving forward?
Well, I think the obvious ones are from a rebounding standpoint. The North Carolina had 22 offensive rebounds last year, so they've really got to crash the board. But also how they guard Joel Berry. Joel Berry liked to split ball screens, split bigs and guards in transition to get to the rim. So they're really going to try to build a wall and stop Joel Berry from getting into the paint. And then also, from a defensive standpoint, North Carolina, what got them back into the game at times is they ran and jumped initial passes in Tennessee's offense. So they would pass the ball to the wing, and the point guard would go trap that first pass. And so now Tennessee is really preparing for that and taking care of the ball so they don't allow North Carolina back in the game if they get a lead. All
right, let me throw this out for everybody else just to jump in. We've talked about what this game means for Tennessee if they win, RPI, in terms of fans, in terms of national media. What happens if they lose this game? I mean, clearly they're still the underdog, not by much. I think they're like a 1-point underdog, but they're the underdog. How much does it hurt? Does it hurt?
I don't think it hurts. If Tennessee, I think if Tennessee loses, I still think it's a competitive game for Tennessee where it plays with North Carolina for most, if not all, of the 40 minutes. But you could still actually gain some respect even if you don't win the game against North Carolina. Now, eventually you need to get these wins. There's no moral victory, I don't think, at this point for Rick Barnes' teams. But I don't think there's too much of a knock on Tennessee if it loses.
You guys agree with that?
Yeah, well, certainly no moral victories. Like you said, you want to win. If for some reason they do lose, if you compete, play hard, it shouldn't hurt them. They lost to the defending national champs. It's number 17, we're number 20. So it's kind of like they're supposed to win, even though I really believe we're going to win this game.
Well, you're wearing the Sterling Hinton-style orange jacket, so I'm not
white
surprised.
checkerboard arena, baby.
I'm not surprised. Mike Strange, your thoughts?
I think it's a great opportunity for Tennessee, but I don't think there's any big downside if they lose. Even if they were to get blown out, that might affect them in the top 25, which really doesn't matter. But it's not going to affect them in the RPI and things like that. So I don't think there's a terrible downside here. I think this is just a great opportunity.
Mark, this team has won a couple of games recently where it didn't play its best. Georgia Tech wasn't great. Lipscomb wasn't great. Still won the games. North Carolina's a different beast. But do they have to play a perfect game today to win this one?
No, I don't think they have to play perfectly, but I think if there's one side of the basketball where they can have a non-perfect game, it would be offense. I think defensively they got to come ready to guard in the paint and guard your guard and keeping people out of the paint.
Agreed, guys. Doesn't have to be perfect, but better be darn good on the defensive end.
Yeah, because I would expect North Carolina to make mistakes as well in this game. With the crowd, I think that will be a big factor in this.
And not having played in 11 days. I got to think at some point, even if it's just for the first 5 minutes, there's going to be some getting their feet back under them that has to play into effect.
Oh, don't come late, because it's going to be up and down those first couple minutes. They'll be after it.
What do you score prediction? What is this? Is this game going to be in the 90s? Going to be
well, the only game North Carolina lost, they scored 48 points against Michigan State, but every other game they're in their 80s. So if they can keep them in around the 70s, they got a chance to win.
Who are you taking?
Vols.
I know who you're taking.
Come on,
Mike Strange.
I'm going to be a Grinch here and take Carolina.
Isaiah, you're taking Tennessee, I know.
Yeah, I take Tennessee. Yeah.
Josh?
I'm picking Tennessee.
I'll take Tennessee. They're at home. All right. Guys, again, our Christmas Eve spectacular next Sunday. Start your Christmas Eve with us right here. Mark Pancratz will be back with us. We're going to take a look at the SEC basketball season. Will Overstreet will be here talking about Jeremy Pruitt, and we're also going to have a lot of fun with our questions. See you next week.
The Sports Source is brought to you by Fast Frame. Shadow boxes come with a lifetime guarantee.